My fish fam, it's Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and oh my god, in the year of 2024, at the end of it, we're going to end off with a bang because they've unbanned Splinter Twin, they've unbanned Mox Opal, and they've unbanned Faithless Looting. What the hell does that mean for Merfolk? Well, we're gonna find out real quick. So anyway, this is I don't right off the bat, I don't really have any specific deck list to meet this metagame. Very generally, looking at the results, it appears that creativity is like a big deck right now because you can go turn 1 Faithless Looting, put a Archon of Cruelty into the graveyard, reanimate it on turn 1. People are trying out artifact strategies. Splinter Twin is all over the place in many flavors, but Energy undisputedly is still the deck to beat at the end of the year and probably going on into the future. So you know what, I just want to play test with some stuff here. Let's try out Tamiyo again for just like a random one drop. I don't know if I had any videos with Tamiyo before. So its best thing to do is just die to a piece of removal. I still want to test out Unable to Scream. Stern Scolding and probably Consigned to Memory are still really good in this meta, especially Stern Scolding hits Deceiver Exarch, hits what's it called, Fear of Missing Out, hits a lot of the cards that would come out of a Splinter Twin deck. But we're really gonna have to wait like a month to see what actually is the best deck in the modern metagame. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. Word on the street, the tappers are pretty good. So let's have Floodpits Drowner in the main deck. And I'm gonna lean a little bit more heavier on my Harbinger of the Seas than Tide Shaper to enable my Island Walk. Alright, so with that, let's just get into our Modern League. So we lost the die roll, but the hand is like okay-ish. I'm going to keep it. It's going to be a little heavier on removal. So if we're up against like a super hardcore combo deck, that's going to suck. If we're up against Energy, this hand's going to be pretty good. Starting off with Urza's Saga turn 1 usually means it's Amulet because they just want to ramp out their Amulet as quickly as possible. I'm going to go off an island and pass. They might even play a Karoo land. Who knows? We do have the Harbinger of the Seas for when the moment's right, though. But the moment might not be too late if they just need to get a random Amulet of Vigor in play. Okay, this is going to add some mana. The Crumbling Vestige. Ooh, a Sakura Tribe Elder. Sure. So if I blow this thing up, does it help me? Does it hurt me? Does it change anything? Do I want to save this Dismember for something else? Probably not. They're probably going to sack this Sakura Tribe Elder anyway. I got to sink into Stupor. Not much to do here. Although I would expect that we're going to be in pretty... If we don't die on this turn, we're going to be in good shape on following turns because Harbinger of the Sea is just going to be an absolute wrecking ball. The Amulet. Oh no! How could I have not seen this coming? Secure Tribe Elder is going to go get a land that's going to come into play untap for the turn. Unfortunately, it's an island. Unfortunately, it's a forest, a basic land. So they are going to be able to play some cards through my Harbinger of the Seas one way or another. Another Urza Saga. Well, that's getting blown up. Pachoo! 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 What is this? What is this 4-mana thing that you're having so much trouble actually casting? Elvish Reclaimer, okay. That's very dangerous. I gotta kill that thing. Expedition Map, that's very unfortunate. Because that can go find another forest. Okay, so we're definitely going to dismember the Elvish Visionary. Sorry, Elvish Reclaimer. Because the Reclaimer, you can sack a land and go get another land, so they could sack the islands and go get more forests. I'm sure this Expedition Map is going to go get more forests anyway. So let's go play our Harbinger of the Seas. We'll at least blow the Saga up. Maybe this is not... Oh, I know, it's Amulet. I mean, it's definitely Amulet. It's Amulet. Okay, they can go get a forest. They can slowly get Primeval Titan out. But so long as all the lands are disabled, it shouldn't be that dangerous. And we do have the Floodpits Drowner available to us. So next turn we can go Lord, hold up Floodpits Drowner. And like even if a Titan's on the battlefield, we can get the Unable to Scream to get it online. Our opponent is going to need to have basically Dismember or Bust. And now with that, with me saying Dismember or Bust, maybe I should hold up this Force of Negation and not play my Master of the Pearl Trident just yet. We're going to be a little patient, I think. Let's be a little patient. We can still play the Flood Pits Drowner if we really need to. The worst thing that could possibly happen to us, though, is they dismember the Harbinger of the Seas, and then we just lose. Spelunking! And it was a battlefield draw card. And you can put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Now you can you? I think that is... So if I let that resolve... I don't really want to use my Force of Negation here. I think I'm just going to let that resolve. Do I let that resolve? Lands you control untapped. Well, they were ending untapped anyway. I'm just trying to think if my opponent already has Primeval Titan in hand. I could Flood Pits. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to save my Force of Negation. Again, I really want to protect my Harbinger of the Seas. Ooh, a Lotus Field. Interesting, interesting. This feels like a waste of my Flood Pits Drowner. Waste it is. Land? Not a land. Not useless either, though. Okay, well, I'm just going to play this Sink. Play a Lord. Deal extra damage. Deal 6. Then can I deal lethal by next turn? No, I can't. Awkward. Very, very awkward. I can deal almost lethal. 4, 8, 11. Whatever. This is just how it's going to be. There's like a Primeval Titan. I still have the option to Unable to Scream it. I mean, there's nothing the Primeval Titan can do on the turn that it comes into play. I mean, it just gets a bunch of lands, I suppose. If it's Green Sun Zenith in hand, we do have the Force of Negation in hand for that. Ooh, Tishana's Tiebinder. Now our opponent is ultra screwed. Can't beat everything. Too much. Harbinger of the Seas. Too strong. Even in 2024. The year of the Harbinger of the Seas. I think all our bases are covered here. I know they're very excited for... I mean, Green Sun Zenith probably is really good to make Elvish Reclaimer reliable, and I don't like the look of that card, but still at the same time, I don't understand. I really don't understand why Green Sun Zenith had to be on the ban list for so ridiculously damn long. It seemed like complete overkill to me. Like, it just seemed very unnecessary. To be honest, I don't even want to change my deck very much. Okay, Tameo is probably not very good. Just a card draw engine, not important. Flavor Denial looks very good. Unable to Scream looks fine. Play Primeval Titan, just Unable to Scream it. Although they'll probably have a decent chunk of interaction. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, they gotta have to have a Seiju somewhere in that deck. How good is Flood Pits? How good is Tide Shaper? No, it's gonna be fine, assuming our opponent keeps... What's it called? Post board. Assuming they keep any assuming they keep any number of Urza Sagas post board. I really want to bring in the Hex Catcher, but also doesn't seem all that necessary. This is really good. This is really good. Just random good clock is very good. Flood Pits interacts with all the good creatures. Subtlety. Okay, let's just leave it like that. Don't even need Hex Catcher. We need it even less now that there's no One Ring. This hand's poor. This hand's very poor, I would say. This hand needs like one thing. Just one thing. Okay, we'll keep it. We're going to keep it hoping we draw that one thing from this hand. We need like... What's it called? We need like a Lord. That's not terrible. Okay, what's nice, it's always nice to see Urza Saga line up with our Tide Shaper. It's always a pleasant surprise for us and a very unpleasant surprise for our opponents. Crumbling Vestige. I guess there's going to be we're going to see Sakura Tribe Scout, Sakura Tribe Elder again. Steve. Oh, Green Sun Zenith for 1. Yes, you may have it. A Boreal Grazer. That's not what I expected. Bring back the Urza Saga. Nope. Your Urza Saga's about to die. A horrible, horrible death. Play this. One good thing is that we're curving out. That's a nice thing. Tempo. So maybe if we draw one more land, we will be able to hardcast our Subtlety, which is not bad. Dryad. An Unable to Scream is not going to work versus this card, unfortunately. Anyway, we're going to let it resolve. I don't feel like subtletying it. Echoing Deeps. Went deep on this one. I don't have another Tide Shaper, unfortunately. That is great. That was a very good draw. Okay, you can play additional lands. I could Unable to Scream this just to remove the additional land crap from it. Probably that's what I'm gonna do. Because I want to make my land drops. I don't need 2 Unable to Screams in my hand. So I understand. And this actually is going to be beneficial to me. Everything is still going to be a mountain, but everything is going to be an island for my Lord of Atlantis. But the double land drops get cut off. Not sure how important that's going to be, but we'll find out. We'll find out. I was just thinking now, like, maybe I still want to have Hexcatcher in the deck to deal with Green Sun Zenith. Maybe. Green Sun Zenith is very clunky. Like, it just turns Dryad from a 3-mana card to a 4-mana card. Or Boreal Grazer from a 1-mana card to a 2-mana card. Primeval Titan from a 6-mana card to a 7-mana card. I really don't see the, see how so dangerous it is. Each spell costs 3 more to cast, except, oh, that sucks. How rude, opponent. How rude. Oh, it's the Aftermath Analyst. Maybe that's what we're going to play our other Unable to Scream on. And when it enters, mill 3 cards, sack it, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, tap, sure. Oh, what else? An Embarrassment of Riches. Okay, so I will... What are my Flood Pits? The Aftermath Analyst and then Unable to Scream it? It doesn't really change anything. Or maybe I tap down the Dryad? It doesn't feel like... Okay, I'll hit the Aftermath Analyst. Maybe I do want to exile or shuffle it back into my deck. Maybe I'm not, I'm just giving myself the option to do something else. I'm going to tick this vial up to 3, so I can tick it up to 4 on the following turn, because it doesn't look like our opponent is ready to go ham or anything. Let's attack for 6. We have another Unable to Scream, so if a Primeval Titan somehow hits the battlefield, we'll still be in good shape. We do want to keep this Dryad on the battlefield. It's working for us in a really weird way. Yeah, so hold on. Just let everyone know, it's just the way that the layers work. Unable to Scream will remove the playing additional land on each of your turns ability, but will not remove the lands you control or every basic land type. Even though it's grayed out here, it's everything is as you can see, everything is like all land types. Okay, we'll unable to scream this card. Haha! And then if the turn gets passed to us, and we can get this vial to 4, I mean it's basically game over. I didn't think about it. Maybe I should have played 2 unable to screams on this Aftermath Analyst. Okay, I'm just tapping the this for 1. Oh, can you get Primeval Titan in play? Yeah, I guess you can. You have 4. Here goes the Boseiju. So Boseiju will give me a land. I can use Subtlety now if I really need to. Ooh, look at that. Unfortunately, I can't shuffle this thing back anymore. It's too late. Okay, what's left in hand here? So they get all these cards back. Fortunately, no... Actually, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. Okay, so what's going to be the net positive out of all this? A lot of triggers. A lot of triggers. But nothing does anything at the moment. Oh, you can re-get the Boseiju, actually. So you can go Gruul Turf, bounce Boseiju back to hand, destroy everything on the battlefield, potentially. So that's a problem. What is this targeting? Exile up to 3 target cards from graveyards. Oh, okay, I only have 1 card in my graveyard. So Gruul Turf can bounce Boseiju, rip out the other unable to scream. Gruul Turf is resolving last to deceive me. Oh, it returned itself back to hand. Okay, that I didn't expect. Well, I guess there's a land drop for the turn, maybe? I'm not sure. Is there a land drop? Is this it? If this is it, this is great. I can beat this. We'll attack for 6, and then we'll attack for 6 on the following turn. Okay, this comes back. This doesn't do anything, though. Okay, so they can play the Gruul Turf, even get the Boseiju back. Well, they decide not to. Wait for another day. There's nothing else they can do here. I think the game is over. Unless they draw a sweeper. If they draw a sweeper, I'm in trouble. Each spell costs 3 more to cast except during its controller's turn. Ta-da! Oh, you know what they could also do? They can Boseiju my Ether Vial. That's still allowed. That's still a line. If I drew a Lord, I would have just won on this turn, but I did not. Attack for 6. Okay, so I can't cast Subtlety. So I should use this Unable to Scream on something. Let's just hit this Dryad again. So they can't Boseiju it twice. And then between Force Negation and Subtlety, I think that's it! I think the game's over. They play a creature, they lose. They play a spell, they lose. And I have the 3 mana to pay for the defense grid. I think this is a lock. We got the perfect hand. When do we not beat? I'm not sure. You gotta be kidding me. The one of Valakut gets found. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's a problem. Okay, so now every land played is going to be a problem for the rest of the game. Well, now what do? I guess play Subtlety. Okay, new plan. Oh, and they've got Gruul Turf in hand. Okay, so I can go Subtlety, attack for 3. Then they'll play Gruul Turf, bring maybe Urza Saga back to hand. This is going to be a real big problem because the Urza Sagas, these 2 sagas are going to go off. That was, I think, the only draw that they had. Well, we have a lot of draws ourselves, but I'm still going to put myself in a position to attempt to win this game. Wow. I just needed them to draw a creature. Or a spell. Or any other land that they had in their deck. Any other land. That was the only... This is a 1... I believe this is a 1 of in their deck. Maybe it's a 2 of. Okay, Lord wins. Is that not a Lord? Oh, no. Oh, no. Do I want this Dryad dead now? I don't know what to do now. Oh, this thing has reach! Oh, there's 2 chump blockers. Okay, prepare for trouble and make a double. Yeah, I forgot about the sneaky reach on the Arboreal Grazer. I'm lost! Yeah, we're dead. I think it's either a 1 of or a 2 of or something. It was a good draw. Now we are woefully, completely screwed. I mean, we can't even beat the construct tokens. Why is this the art for the construct? Ugh. Not a fan. Not a fan. Looks like a broken monument of some sort. Not my construct token. Gonna go look for a land. Probably the land that copies lands. Oh, Teleria West. Teleria West. Oh, transmute to go find a land. No, I don't get that. Summoner's Pact. Oh, you just want to win on the spot here. Well, I'll counter that. See, that was my plan last turn, that they go for some silly thing like this. So I guess they had more outs, so they could go... Teleros, discard search your library for a card with mana value 0. Okay, so they had Valakut, Teleria West. They had Expedition Map to find Valakut. So they had a few more outs than I thought they did. It's not like they had... wasn't just like 1 card. I don't know, maybe they have a good chunk of Teleria Wests in their deck. And they do have the mana for it, because remember, the Dryad makes blue mana. Gruul Turf, ETB. Valakut trigger. Kills my Subtlety. I wonder if that's going to backfire. Because, I think if I'm the opponent, I actually shoot down Tidechaper or Floodpits Drowner. Because if I draw Lord, I'll win. Right? And this thing can be chump blocked at least for a turn by Arboreal Grazer. At least that's how I'm looking at it. So if I draw an Island Walk Lord, it's GG. I think it's GG. I think I have perfect information. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Oh, 12 damage. I'll take 12 damage. I'm dead next turn. I'm basically dead next turn anyway. As lands keep getting played. Alright. Show me potato salad. Potato salad! Oh. That's a very sad draw. The saddest of draws. Alright. to the sideboard. Do I want to do anything different? It's interesting. Stirring Scolding actually hits a lot of cards. The Reclaimer, the basically all the creatures. Is it worth having though? It's better at dealing with the Animist. Assuming I'm out early. Honestly, I think I just keep it as it is. The matchup is very good. I don't know if I need to be overkill. The downside to playing with something like Stern Scolding is I have to have the mana up, which I am on the play, so that does work out, but I have to have the mana up. Another thing is, I guess it protects from, what's it called, Boseiju. Like, Unable to Scream is not necessarily super reliable. Oh, I just realized I don't have 4 Dismember in my deck, which in a Splinter Twin metagame is probably not the greatest thing. Probably not. Do I want Consign to Memory versus this matchup? A lot of triggered abilities. Okay, just gonna submit. I mean, the hand is good. We need to find our 3rd land, though. It's going to be one of these games where it's like Harbinger of the Seas or bust. The Double Vial. Not useful here. I did slightly consider playing a 3 Vial, 22 land deck for this league. Pretty frustrated by playing with... Like, Vial is a double-edged sword. First off, Vial is probably good in this meta of, like, a bunch of really fast decks. But at the same time, it's worse than ever when you draw multiples of them. Like, this is basically a 6-card hand. I don't really expect the second Vial to have much of an impact in this game. We'll see what happens. So we are afforded quite a few draws because we can at least subtlety one thing before we play our Harbinger of the Seas. And then just hope that that is just going to win the game on the spot. What do you want to do, opponent? Well, you want to play an amulet. Well, you get an amulet. You want it, you get it. So I'm secretly hoping for a land here. Did not get a land. I will play Ether Vial. I think I might play Ether Vial. Yeah, I'm going to play Ether Vial. We'll play the second one. Now, it is important to note that if my opponent does play Dryad of the Elysian Grove, it can be defense crit. Okay, that's I'm not thrilled about it, but okay, it's fine. If they play Dryad, it can be time stamped out by Harbinger of the Seas. So by having 2 of these Vials in play, I can now tick one up to 3 comfortably without slowing the rest of my game down. I got a Flood Pits Drowner. It's okay. Sort of guarantees that the game will slow down at least one more turn. What is this? Exile stuff in the graveyard? Sure. Exile away. Fortunately, no basic forest here. Here's a Spelunking. So they get an extra land drop. They be a ramping. This looks so weird, a Surveil land that came into play untapped. Feels very, very strange. Okay, Arboreal Grazer. The Valakut. I remember this last time. Okay, we'll put our Lord in play, then we'll tick both vials up. And we'll definitely get a Harbinger of the Season play. Get a third land if I need it. Let's activate this. Okay, they have no responses. Oh yeah, they can't respond anyway. Now, assuming there's no dismember, this is basically GG. Basically. Not entirely sure. Basically. Okay, and pass. Another amulet. Cannot do anything about that. I think I'm just going to keep my cards up because I'm going to attack for... It's a 2-turn... do I win next turn, actually? Okay, let's just go for the win. Subtlety is enough protection. I'm hoping subtlety is enough protection. Okay, they just conceded. Alright, well... If Amulet's going to be a big deck, that's good for Merfolk because I'm pretty comfortable playing against them. Because we got the Harbinger of the Seas, baby. Harbinger, just a one-shot kill card versus the in the Amulet matchup. All right, that was round 1. Let's go to round 2. We lost the die roll, but our opponent mulliganed, and we have a decent hand. It's okay. Could use a few more 2-drops. We'll have like Ether Vial on turn 1, but then it's possible we'll have nothing to do for a few turns. Swamp Ether Vial. The hell does that mean? Zombies? Vampires? We have a Tide Shaper, so all those worries about having nothing to do are gone. Swamp Ether Vial. I have no idea. That was the only... maybe it's blue-black Merfolk. The time when I was playing with Psychic Frog and Bowmasters. Here it is. Good luck. I'm Denver, if you remember me from Calgary. Oh. Hey there, Denver. One of someone I met at my regional championship. Flooded Strand. Is this Esper? Oh, maybe this is just the like Esper. Oh no, this okay. This is Orzhov. Is this just Orzhov Death and Taxes? A classic! Classic Death and Taxes. Okay. It's probably just Orzhov. It could be Esper, but it's probably just Orzhov. Fortunately, we have 2 Harbinger of the Seas, so they can't do anything about both of them. Our question is, what do I do with my Tide Shaper? I guess I'm going to Tide Shaper the Swamp and hope for the upside of playing Harbinger of the Seas and completely lock out of mana. But maybe that doesn't matter because they have the Vial, so they can still play cards. But we have the Tishana's Tidebinder. We can lock their Vial down. It's always so satisfying to completely lock out somebody's mana. Okay, they take the Tide Shaper. They're scared. They are scared of that Tide Shaper. Flood Pit's Drowner is a-okay. So much so... I think we're just going to keep it back. I wonder if there's some ephemerate blinking shenanigans in this deck. Is this the type of card that would do it? Enters, choose target thing. Yeah, this is definitely an ephemerate. Potential ephemerate target. Fortunately, my opponent still has perfect information about what's going on in our hand. What is this? Overlord of the Baelmerk, 5 mana, 5/5. It's got impending. Whenever it enters or attacks, mill 4 cards, you may return a non-avatar creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty good if the game delays to the point where you get to play this card. Do they get to take something that returns Witch Enchanter? Isn't this like a really annoying card? Enters, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. There are a few mana sources off from making that a reality. Well, they're on their way. Oh, another Ether Vial. Okay, so dealing with both of them is going to be difficult. Okay, can I get a land? A land would make this hand a lot easier to play. Well, that is incredibly, incredibly awkward. Okay, so I can swipe this thing, get my creature back. Well, I mean, I can attack. We can attack first and see what happens. Do I want my Tideshaver back? Not really. Damn, there's only one card they don't know about. It's the Tishana's Tidebinder. Okay, I'm just gonna pass. Do we have another one? Oh, I hate the dog. The stupid dog. It's only when it attacks, it exiles up to one. Well, you want to blink. I don't know if they're going to blink, but if they want to blink my Flood Pits Drowner, by all means. Be my guest. What's sad is I think we're running well in that they're like a little flooded out, but like these types of decks have so much synergy, it may not matter. If we drew our last land, that could have been a big deal, because Tishana's Tidebinder looks like it interacts very well with this deck. What do you want to do? What do you want to blink? You want to blink my vial. You don't want to blow it up. Could have blown it up. That's totally a line too. Guess I'll just let it through. So they still have that 4 mana monstrosity. And they have another random card that I don't know about. Alright, we got an island. I think I'm just going to attack with both these cards. If they try to flash something in with the vial, I will get in and Tishana's Tidebinder it. As it is, I think I'm just going to hold up Tishana's Tidebinder. There's no reason for me to play Harbinger of the Seas here. I should just play it on the turn that I want to win. I think this vial can go up. This vial is just going to get countered. Oh, but then Felia attacks. That's a problem. Blinks my Tishana's Tidebinder. Okay, I'll let it just go up. It's okay. I don't need the vial anyway, so they can play their 4 mana card. Oh, they're gonna do it right now? Okay, in that case, I will just Tishana's Tidebinder. Seems fine. Maybe that's bait. So now if I play Harbinger, so long as my opponent doesn't have removal, if I play Harbinger of the Seas, I'll be in good shape here. Recruiter of the Guard. I'm gonna recruit Is there a removal creature at 2 mana? Maybe another Tide Hollow Sculler? No, that doesn't work. So I was thinking they could go get a Tide Hollow Sculler, take a Harbinger of the Seas, attack with Tide Hollow Sculler and Felia. Felia blinks Tide Hollow Sculler to get the other Harbinger of the Seas, but then I get the Tide. I'd get Tide Shaper back. Sorry, it doesn't blink, but flickers it. Emperor of Bones. What does that card do now? Beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target creature card. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Emperor of Bones, put a creature card exiled with Emperor of Bones onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. I mean, our opponent's basically tapped out here. Yeah, they can do that, but I get it back. I'm not going to block. They're at 7 life. They needed to really gain some life, I suppose. Like, whatever they do, I'll just play. I'll play one of these Island Walk Enablers and then get in for the kill. You want to go for that one, huh? Okay, they just resign. They know. I think this matchup is going to be poor. So what's going to help us? Maybe Stern Scolding, even though they have... Well, they have a lot of ETBs and triggers. I wonder if Consign to Memory is any good here. So they can blink a lot of stuff, so Unable to Scream is going to be terrible. Tamiyo might be okay. Hexcatcher is sort of weak in these matchups where they're blinking everything. Force of Negation, I don't want to rely on. Yeah, let's try Stern Scolding. Most of the cards are like... I would assume most of the cards I can snag with this card. I wonder if Consign to Memory is worth it. Because everything has a triggered ability. Trigger this, trigger that. Maybe Flare of Denial is worthwhile. Because everything has some sort of stupid... Most of the cards have a stupid ETB that I am concerned with. Consign to Memory, Consign to Memory. I guess I'm just going to take... I could take some Hexcatchers, not a lot. Problem with Hexcatcher is if the opponent is keeping the board clear and empty, then this Lord is pretty pathetic by itself. I mean, the key to this matchup is you have some Island Walkers, some Island Walk Enabler, and you smash. And hopefully they have not taken over the game in some capacity. I sort of want Flare of Denial. But it also seems very awkward. Well, I completely forgot that this might be an Ephemerate deck. Which in that case, like, probably some number of Force of Negation are good. Okay, I'll take some Hexcatcher on the draw. Sounds okay. Keep. I'll have a smidge of a decision on turn 1. Play my Tide Shaper or not? I will opt for not. Overlord of the Thingamabob, sure. They grabbed... Returns Felia, okay. They can play Felia. Or can they? I think I'm going to play my Lord. And I think when they play Felia, I'm going to Subtlety it, pitching the Flood Pits Drowner. Because Felia can blink the Harbinger of the Seas, and that would be very frustrating. Fortunately, our opponent has no basic land. It's good for us. Uh-oh. Okay, they're leaving mana up. I'm going to do something at flash speed here. I have another Subtlety, though. What are they up to? Okay, attack for 2. Probably we're just going to play Sink into Stupor tapped, and that's it. Oh, yeah, Philly has flash. Okay, so that is not okay. Yeah, you were going to Subtlety this, and I'll pitch. Pitch a Flood Pits Drowner. Keep another Subtlety up our sleeve if we need to. Put it on the bottom. It's okay. Take 2. Opponent will now feel the wrath of the Harbinger of the Seas. And if a basic land is played, we do have the Tide Shaper. Now, remember, Solitude is still a legal card in this format. So we'll follow this Harbinger of the Seas up with another Harbinger of the Seas. We had Subtlety for a Solitude anyway. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Basic Plains. Now what? you can kill one of these things. Oh, here's the Felia. Okay, that is funny. Okay, I can attack for 8. So Felia can resolve. I attack for 8. I can Subtlety like the next creature. It sounds like a deal. Ooh, Flood Pits Drowner. Maybe I'm going to change my plan. I'm just going to Tide Shaper this Plains and then play Flood Pits Drowner. Maybe play it now. Attack for maximum damage. Because I can get in for 8 here. Go for Tide Shaper on the final Plains. And like our opponent would just need an absolute miracle hand to deal with this. Just an absolute miracle hand. What can this thing get? You may return a non-avatar creature or a planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. So they would have to be really digging for Solitude. Opponent says, good games, well played. I'll get the run back one day. Yeah, probably. The we ran very well here. I don't think in this matchup this would they have Fatal Push. I don't think this matchup should be very good. It's like a very Death and Taxes-y like matchup. Like we have game. Of course we like win games like this, but I overall I think we are disadvantaged. We're a dog. This card is just too big of a hassle. It's a very good mirror breaker. If they have Vial and if we both have Vial, this card interacts with our Vial a little too well. I'm not sure what their interaction is, but they kept, unfortunately, a very slow, clunky hand. And all their cards, like everything's like an ETB, which just get more value and cascade after that. But fortunately, we won. All right, that's round 2. We'll move on to round 3. Here in round 3, we lost the die roll. I think we have a keepable hand. We can cast everything on curve. We'll even get a Tamiyo out. And Tamiyo without Vial is like a little bit clunky. Tamiyo with Vial is pretty great because you can start attacking with Tamiyo, draw cards with your open mana with all the clues that you're getting. And we're up against Amulet again. Maybe Amulet gonna smash us instantaneously here. Feels like that's a possibility. They're already off to a very good start. land into Amulet, and we've got some interaction in our hand, but it might be a little slow depending on, like, this would be fine. This hand would probably be good if we were on the play, but because we're on the draw, it's like this might not be good enough. Because if they go turn 3 Titan, well, so it will probably do enough damage. Like, I'll have Flood Pit's Drowner up by turn 2, but like the Primeval Titan is just gonna put too much value onto the battlefield. I mean, they could get a bunch of Urza Sagas for all we know. So if there is one redeeming quality about this new metagame, is that Amulet is a very strong deck. They lost the One Ring, which is unfortunate for us because we don't mind them having the One Ring. But they gained, apparently, Green Sun Zenith. Oh, this is a nut hand. This is the nuts. Unless they have no follow-up to this. But outside of that, this is the nuts. Oh, I thought this was the Gruul Turf. I didn't realize they're only making like 2 mana off of this card. Unfortunately, they just have to pay 4 mana and sack it and get all the lands. So our Flood Pit's Drowner is not even going to do anything there. Unfortunately. See, this is where we could have Tishana's Tidebinder up right now. Here's the battlefield. Yeah, so we're just going to have to let this thing go off. My opponent's like, are you the content creator, Nikachu? I am. I'm making content right now, you might say. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like, if this thing cracks, all these lands come... Well, I mean, there's 2 lands, but it's a lot of mana. They play Primeval Titan. I Flood Pit's Drowner the Primeval Titan. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to go about this game after that. It's not a good spot. Opponent's like, hell yeah, I'm a big fan of your content. Thanks. Oh, that is just great. Another Ether Vial. It's exactly what I needed to see here. Well, I guess we do nothing with this Flood Pit's Drowner. We're going to play Tamiyo! Ta-da! She's so cool! But here's the good news. Can we get a blue source? Not a blue... Woo! Arrgh! Damn it. That would have been great last turn. I don't know about this turn. Well, I can sort of figure it out, right? I could try to figure it out afterwards. Okay, we're going to go Merfolk. We're going to attack for nothing. We're going to investigate. That's what Tamiyo does. She's a detective. Although it's not part of her, that's not her job status. She claims her taxes as a Moonfolk wizard. I guess we're just going to pass. Because it is incredibly important that our Tishana's Tidebinder lines up with that damn Primeval Titan when it enters the battlefield. Yeah, you're going to have another Ether Vial. It's another one. Okay, hold on. Can I hit this Aftermath Analyst now? Nah, okay, I'll just let it go. I mean, if my opponent taps out to activate this Aftermath Analyst, maybe there's an offside chance that I actually Tishana's Tidebinder that activated ability. Or is this Saga? Do I go for it here? Oh, this is still... It's only 3 mana still. So I can dismember this, right? Yeah, this is only 3 mana. Okay, so let's go for the dismember. Actually, hold on. Cancel. It's actually appropriate to always draw your card first to deprive your opponent of information. Because for all they know, I just drew the dismember. Right? This is 4 mana, right? Yeah, it's 4 mana. They only have 3 mana available. Because this is no longer a land. Used to be. once upon a time. This thing might just beat me down. Okay, so we'll dismember the Aftermath Analyst. Dangerous card it is. I think I'm just going to get aggressive here. I'll take the Val up to 3. Well, yeah, I'll take the Val up to 3. And I guess I'll play a blue source. Damn it, why can't you just be a regular blue source here? Play blue source, hold up Sink into Stupor and Tishana's Tidebinder. What else should I do here? Or do I attack with Mutavault? And say screw the Sink into Stupor for the meantime? What's the worst thing that could happen? Okay, so you make how much? You play Crew Land, you get 6 mana off of just that. You play Primeval Titan. Tishana's Tidebinder it. Okay, hopefully that's the plan. I'll draw an extra card off of this Tameo. I would ideally like to play the Sink, keep the Sink, like my extra Sink available. Maybe it's a silly idea, but that's what I would like to do. So there is no Crew Land in hand, though, because it would have been played like a long time ago. The Shifting Woodland can copy any creature in the graveyard. Could even copy that Aftermath Analyst. Okay, let's draw a card. Tammy has already drawn me 2 cards for 6 mana. Ooh, we got the blue source. That blue source I was looking for. What's in my opponent's hand? Probably our opponent has like a bunch of Primeval Titans or something. Unable to Scream is pretty useless here. Well, I can't do anything. I can't attack on the ground because of Urza Saga. Darn. Might have to bounce this token. Actually, you can also unable to Scream it if necessary. So what can you get? You can get... Okay, I'm going to let that resolve. I'm going to counter the search, which can probably search for map to go get something highly desirable. So this is going to attack me for 5. That is fine. And we'll counter this last ability. I can sink one of these. But I'll only do it at end of turn. If they attack with 1 and leave 1 behind, I'll sink the one that's left behind. And then we can continue to attack. Uh-oh. That's a lot of mana. That's a lot of mana. How much mana is that? How many times can you play Primeval Titan here? I think still once. Oh no, but you can yeah, copy the Aftermath Analyst. Is it still a land? Shifting Woodland becomes Aftermath Analyst. Yeah, that's a thing. Sacrifices. Bam. Oh no, I should okay, I made a mistake. I should actually crack my clue to see what I could draw, because I'm not going to use this Mutavault mana anyway. Oh, the triggers. Oh, what fun it is to ride an amulet tonight. What do I have to say? Oh, wait, there we go. And here comes the mana. So this is infinite mana, I believe. I need my opponent to have nothing in hand. It's infinite mana because they can consistently reproduce a ton of mana, remake the Shifting Woodland into the Aftermath Analyst to then... is this how it works? Hold on. You turn into the Woodland. Sacrifice, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I don't know if that. I guess with Lotus Field you still sack it and some other card. Yeah, you sack Lotus Field and something else. So then you become you use Aftermath Analyst to keep putting Lotus Field back on the battlefield, but it keeps netting mana when it's doing this. Okay, I guess. Well, first off, I had to have used my clue token. This was stupid. Okay, let's see what I could have drawn. I need to know now. Dryad. I've never seen this art for Dryad before. Looks better. Okay, in response. Okay, was there a Tishana's Tidebinder here? That would have done nothing. It would have done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, I doubt that they just have infinite mana. You must have something to do with this mana. Play one Primeval Titan, I will concede. Oh, you want more mana? Damn it, I'm a content creator. Please just give me some reason to concede here. Okay, I'm gonna F6. We're F6'd here. I'm no longer interacting anymore. I don't want to. I don't want to. Interacting is for dummies. And I can't do anything. If they play any card, I can just sink into Stupor, and then they'll just replay it because they have infinite mana. Infinite mana, infinite mana. Do 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 do. I'm sort of actually learning this combo. Like I'm aware that Amulet can now make infinite mana and do this and that, but I was not actually clear with how the loop worked. And now that I'm watching it happen in the moment, I now know. I know everything. I wonder if our opponent is just hoping that we're going to concede because they can make infinite mana. No, I'm not going to concede. Not for nothing. You got to show me the goods. They're preparing to play around Mana Leak. That's what they're preparing to do. Amulet, the namesake card. 3 of them in play. Not unusual these days, that's for sure. So I'm just sort of waiting for our opponent to just kill us. How much mana do you need? I should ask. How much mana do you need? In a challenge, this is probably worthwhile letting my opponent just like siphon themselves here. Siphon their time, I mean. Because, like, what they've... I need to mill a win con. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, okay, so the point is to commercial district eventually I guess a creature to the graveyard. I have a my opponent says I have a handful of lands. That's hilarious. So, like, I guess, did that mean if I really Tashana's Tidebinder this analyst? Oh no, but then they would do something with their saga. They could saga map, get another saga, get the chain rolling. It was a tough position for us. What creature do what creature do you win with? I actually don't know what they're trying to Shifting Woodland for. Like, I don't know what wins on the spot. I can see things that win later, but I don't know what wins immediately. Or maybe there's a no, I can't. Yeah, maybe there's a Thassa's Oracle in this deck. Thassa's Oracle mill victory. What a hilarious. Oh no, but you can't get the ETB because the creature's already in play. The what's it called? The Aftermath Analyst, or sorry, the Shifting Woodland is already in play. Oh, okay. Either Cultivator or Titan. No, but you don't get an ETB. So what is this? Oh, was this another Shifting Woodland? Oh, this works. Okay, I'm getting shot down. No, this is good. Okay. No, unless. Okay, I'll take my land. Can I bounce this Dryad this turn? Because this is a land, right? Oh my god, this is hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna take 5. There's nothing but lands in my opponent's hand. Opponent says, could not find the win con. Nope. So what do I do here? I think the plan is sink this, then I could Unable to Scream this? Oh no, but that doesn't work. I can't Unable to Scream this. So there's a Dryad in the graveyard. How much green mana is there now? Not much. So I can sink this, bounce this. Or sorry, Unable to Scream this. I have to get that Dryad offline. If it's a Shifting Woodland, it can just get replayed as a Shifting Woodland, right? Okay, Harbinger of the Seas. Not Harbinger of the Seas. Actually, not even useful right now. 3, 4. So I can... Otawara is online. Tashana's Tidebinder is online. But we have to deal with these stupid cards right now. I got a clue. Hooray. Play another land. I might even go to Shana's Tidebinder, like, prevent this ability from happening. What's going on here? Oh, I copied the amulet. Yeah, sure. I gotta make sure I don't lose to Artifact Beatdown. Oh no, but that thing can... Ugh, okay. If I use Tashana's Tidebinder, I gotta make sure that I can counter the Aftermath Analyst. But it needs how much green mana? It needs just a single one. Okay, I have to let it go. We have to hold up to we have to hold up Tashana's Tidebinder here. We have no choice. Opponent goes like, 4th Amulet can't hurt, right? Not at all. Shifting Woodland. So when this thing... So basically, when it becomes the Aftermath Analyst... Well, I get to see what it's going to try to target. If it tries to target, like, what's it called? Dryad, our game plan might change. If it tries to copy Aftermath Analyst, we'll let that happen. Ooh, a Summoner's Pact. That sounds like a problem. Okay, I can't do anything about that, so it resolves. How much mana is this being used? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's gonna copy the Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which means I can bounce that with Sync. I'm just wondering if I can cut off my opponent. Like, they don't have double green for next turn. Maybe I can win this game through just very mysterious means. They got Primeval Titan, so I can Tishana's Tidebinder that. Okay. I think we win. Because I'm going to... Well, not anymore. Damn. Okay. I should have seen it coming. So the plan is bounce this, but unfortunately they can now pay for the pact next turn. Undermining my entire plan. Okay, let's... Can I change anything? No, I think I'm going to bounce this anyway. I don't care. I'm going to save my Flood Pit's Drowner. At the very least. If we draw Harbinger of the Seas, we win. If we draw Tide Shaper, we win. If we... Not sure what else we can get to win. And we have 2 looks, too, because we still have this clue token. Might have to start chump blocking this construct. Actually, we have several constructs coming down our throat. So I'm hoping our opponent just has lands in hand. Lands and only lands. Only lands! Okay, here comes another construct. Gonna get attack for 7. I'll take it. Take it on the chin. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting draw here. Interesting 2 draws. Okay, Tamiyo. Tamiyo would have been much better off as a dockhand in this game. Ether Vial, useless to me. How about something else? Oh, we actually have 3 draws. I can attack with Tamiyo again. A Lord. Does that work? Ugh, I don't have... Damn it! The Dryad is gone. Shoot, if the Dryad was there... Well, yeah, I had to do something about this Dryad. Otherwise, we would have lost the Flood Pit's Drowner anyway. Are we sure there's no island here? This is an island? Islands? No? No islands? Okay. That's unfortunate. So our last hope is to attack with Tamiyo, crack the clue. Do I have a cantrip in the graveyard? No, not really. Okay, let's crack the clue. We're going to trigger Tamiyo, funny enough. Ah, I didn't draw. No! We didn't draw anything. Okay, what can I get from here? Till the end of your next turn, whenever attacking creatures attack you or planeswalker, they get -1/-0. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a green card, add 1 mana of any color. No. Well, we can go get a Dismember and die. Yeah, unfortunately, Gruul Turf and Simic Growth Chamber is all they need. Okay, we had a lot of looks. We had a lot of chances. Wasn't enough. So sad. Too bad, so sad. Oh no, did we lose anyway? No. Yeah, we needed Harbinger or a Tide Shaper. That would have done it. Okay, what did we do last time? We got rid of Unable to Scream, I believe. Brought in Flare of Denial. Maybe that was it? I think that was it. Actually, Tamio shouldn't be very good in this matchup. So we're bringing Hexcatcher. It's possible Stern Scolding. Nah, forget it. Oh, this is... No, it's only triggered ability, not activated ability. Aftermath Analyst has the activated ability. Paying mana, sacrifice it. Get all the lands back. It's a long game. This deck must be very difficult to play online. Because, like, I guess you technically could be winning with the surveilling. But it's like it's a really long grind to get through your entire deck. Sacrificing everything, getting all these triggers, getting all this mana, all this useless mana. Alright, we'll go first. That was only game 1, by the way. This hand's amazing. Keep it. Borderline broken. All we need is, like, if you see a Harbinger of the Seas in your hand, GG! Almost. It's close. The turn 1 Urza Saga, that is going to run really hard into my turn 3 Harbinger of the Seas. Okay, let's start this party off with a Master of the Pearl Trident. And we can even protect our Harbinger of the Seas with the Flare of Denial. Oh my god. We are going to get a snap concession, I know it. Okay, we're going to start off by attacking first, just in case we have to protect our Harbinger of the Seas. And now we are going to deliver the incredibly bad news. It's all it's all downhill from here. That's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see. Oh, I've turned the Lotus Field on. I am so foolish. Okay, attack for 5. See, this is what could have happened last game if we just drew Harbinger of the Sea somewhere in that first game. 2 Lotus Fields. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll just I'll just flash in a Subtlety. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, before that resolves, Subtlety. Does this win? Not really. Okay, hold on, this is 8. It's more than enough. 8, and I have 5. Okay, so I'm just gonna pass, and we'll Flare of Denial something if we need to. Alright, that was game 1 was a huge slog. Game 2, easy peasy. And I'll just resubmit this deck list. Consigned to Memory does hit the defense. It hits Amulet, which is too late on the draw. No. Consigned to Memory, it looks good. Probably it's not that good. And Hexcatcher might be better than I'm giving it credit for, especially since our opponent is playing with cards like Defense Grid, because I can activate the ability of Hexcatcher regardless anyway. This hand is okay. We'll keep. It's not beautiful. I'm not passionately in love with this hand, but it's got like it has some interaction with Force Negation. We have 2 relevant creatures. Maybe our Dismember will connect with something. Oh, right on time, Aether Vial. Am I gonna play it? This game might go long. I am gonna play it. We'll just delay the Lord for 1 turn. They're probably gonna play, if they play something like Dryad this turn. We're just gonna let it happen. But then we can hold up Force of Negation and not throw away a creature. Spelunking. Yeah, I think it's just gonna happen. I'd like to counter it, but I don't want to throw away too many blue cards. I don't want to throw away too many blue cards. Okay, so this is sort of like a comfy spot to be in. Then by next turn we can like throw away a Lord, throw out a Lord. Another Spelunking. They don't stack, right? It's just like land can come into play. Lands you control, enter on tap. Yeah, it like doesn't change anything. It's just basically a 3-mana cantrip. But they are developing their mana, which is not lovely. Oh, they got the Beseju. They brought Beseju back into their hand. Mirror Pool gets played. When it come to play on tap? Oh yeah, everything just comes into play on tap now. What does it do? Copy target instant or sorcery spell. May choose new targets. Ugh. I elect to do nothing. So you want a Beseju, you gotta do it now. Okay, you're gonna do it now. And now if I draw a land, I'll just play Lord. Okay, you can play Primeval Titan next turn. I cannot tap out here, unfortunately. Alright, we're going to have to pass the turn for a few turns. My hand's a little face up. Not a whole lot I can do about it. Like, I obviously have some sort of 3-mana interaction, whether it be like Force of Negation, Flare of Denial, Tashana's Tidebinder. Maybe they could even assume I have Subtlety. Okay, they are going to go for Cultivator Colossus. Power and toughness reach equal number of lands and enters. Does it die on the spot? I'm pretty sure it dies on the spot. So we'll kill a Cultivator Colossus. Seems worth it. Maybe I'm just going to play 2 Lords next turn. That changes things a little bit. Because I can bounce a Primeval Titan. Oh, how do they gain so much life? Because I'm for freaking cave. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, so maybe I have to like dump my hand. Maybe I have to dump my hand. Maybe that was the moment. I should go 2 Lords, attack for 5, hope a Primeval Titan is not behind all this crap, and then like Force of Negate some card. Oh, looks like it was Primeval Titan anyway. Oh, Colossal Sky Turtle. Flying Ward 2. Is that it? I think I'm going to dismember this. I can pay the ward. We'll be in really good shape if I can draw a land so we can play a lord and hold up the sink at the same time. Colossal Sky Turtle down. Okay, so here's the deal. Let's say they have Primeval Titan, and I play Sync. Am I really getting anywhere? I think the answer is no. I'm going to die horribly. So the real thing to do is actually to play 2 lords. And then if there is some sort of spell, I'll like force... I have to hope that there's, what's it called? The alternative creatures. Sorry, like they have to play they have to use a spell in order to get something in play, which in that case I can force of negate one and then potentially force of negate another. Oh, is this a dismember? Oh, on a lord. Letting me attack for 4 this turn. Makes some sense, makes some sense. Like, I would love to hold up this sink, but it just doesn't look like I can. So I have to hope that, and how much mana is this to copy the thing? Sacrifice copy for basically 4, so 3 mana and sacking itself. Arboreal Grazer, that's good news. Teleria West, that's weird. Why'd you do that? Is there something going on here I don't know? Where's this cave? Search your library for a land card, put onto the battlefield tapped. Becomes an artifact. I don't get what's going on here. Is there something from the graveyard you can play? What is going on here? Search your library for a land card, put onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle. This is going to be like Gruul Turf, get Teleria West back. Oh! Ooh, it's shifting woodland. Interesting. And you can go get your Sky Turtle or something? We can get Sky Turtle, Cultivator Colossus, which is an 8/8. Well, Flood Pit's Drowner is good. No matter what they get. Okay, we're going to play a Lord, an attack. I do not attack for lethal. Oh, I wonder if this was greedy. Because I still have the sink up, and I'm not that desperate to get anything in play, and I could have held up Flood Pit's Drowner. Okay, this might have been greedy. If they top deck like a pretty good creature, then I lose. Whereas Sink could have maybe saved me. I could have had the option to play Flood Pit's Drowner or hold this thing up. Spelunking, we are going to counter that for sure. Because there's no cards left in my opponent's hand. And I think no matter what they do, they're dead. Or maybe not. Hold on. This attack for 10. Yeah, I think no matter what... Okay, I have 10 power in play. I'll just attack. They're going to activate this thing. We'll Flood Pits. Whatever they decide to copy, and that should be enough. If they get the Sky Turtle, we can Flood Pits and pay the 2. Like, we can win in several ways here. And we won the match. Great. Hooray! We learned what we already know. Merfolk has a good matchup versus Amulet. All right, that was round... Was that round 3 or 4? I think that was round 3. And we'll move on to round 4. In round 4, we won the die roll. Not really thrilled with this hand, but I'll keep it. This hand might be a little bit better on the draw. But we do have the Harbinger of the Seas, which is a haymaker versus a lot of decks. I mean, the main reason I don't like this hand is because it's a double vial hand, so it's effectively like a 4-land hand. And if we draw like 1 land in our next 2 draws, that might really suck. Okay, Flooded Strand. Which could mean anything these days. Could be Twin. Could be Murktide. So open to interpretation. Yeah, we'll play another Merfolk land. We'll play another Vial and just pass. If somehow a creature is played in the next 2 turns, we can always dismember it. I was just thinking how much resistance there is against Twin now, at least from like a blue side. We got like Stern Scolding to counter like Deceiver Exarch or any of the creatures that would combo. Well, that's the last land I thought was going to get with the Flooded Strand. Is this Zoo? I think this is Zoo now. So anyway, there's like Stern Scolding. There's more removal. What else is there? Stern Scolding was a big one. That's a big one. Like, you just have to hold up 1 blue at end of turn if they play, like, Deceiver Exarch. Just counter the damn thing. Your Splinter Twin can rot in your hand. Of course, there's all sorts of... The lands now, Ottawa and Boseiju can interact with the Twin combo now. Oh, you don't want to play anything, huh? Well, maybe I don't want to play anything either. Thanks to Flood Pit Drowner, I can just pass the turn. Well, this Harbinger of the Seas might catch them off guard, and thanks to the 2 vials, I can tick one up. I think I'm gonna... Do I sandbag? Do I play Cavernous Souls on Elemental? Just so that I have a blue source for potentially a Subtlety in the future? Maybe I do that. Okay, so... Play this. I guess I'm gonna play this on Elemental. And I will just pass. I have no reason to do anything here. I'm not going to play Harbinger of the Seas because they'll probably kill it. It's probably what's going to happen to my poor Harbinger. So the deal is to tick the Vial up to a point where... surprise! Tick the Vial up to 3, activate Flash and Harbinger, and then they got nothing. I might even do it on my upkeep. Depending on what they do. Okay, Hollowed Found Shock? Oh, Felia. Okay. Okay. We are definitely interacting with this card. I don't know what's going to be the most optimal, ideal way to do it. We'll start with a Flood Pit Drowner, though. Why is this dog getting more popular all of a sudden? It's very, very frustrating. Could this be a Bowmasters? It could be a Bowmaster mana, so I should wait on this. Let's get... Okay, which one of these is this? This is this one. So I want the other one to resolve first. So I can take this thing up to 2. I can take this one up to 3, just so I can play around Bowmasters. I got Tameo. Well, I honestly didn't think about that. Maybe I should have put this on Wizard. Damn it, I just ticked up my Ether Vial. I just did it. Well, anyway, I can't activate Flood Pit Drowner, so I just won't. Okay, opponent's gonna crack Flooded Strand. Now you might ask, what am I gonna... I'm probably gonna activate my Vial on 3 at the end of my opponent's turn. Like, on this coming turn. And then they'll probably float some mana. Probably. And then we'll take another turn and we'll activate Ether Vial again on our turn. And then if, like at our upkeep. Oh, wow, it's just going to resolve. Okay, so Harbinger enters the battlefield. They're totally screwed. Hopefully totally screwed. I don't know what they have available at 2 mana. Sorry, I mean, I don't know what they have available in this deck at only blue mana. I get the sense that, like, they have Flage in their hand, but they just don't know a good time to play it. Okay, and we'll get our Master of the Pearl Trident in play now. And I guess we kill this dog. Do we kill the dog now? Or attempt to kill the dog? Because the dog can blink my Harbinger and then reactivate everything. So let's attempt to kill the dog. Or maybe I can wait a turn. If I draw a Force of Negation, I might want to pass the turn, kill the dog on their turn with Force of Negation backup. Just in case they have Force of Negation. They got some blue in the deck, alright? There's like a little bit of blue in this deck. I don't know how much. Say no to both of these. Sink into Stupor. That also deals with the dog. Ooh, Solitude. Pitching a Leyline Binding. Okay, well, we're going to have to sink this. No, there's an... Oh, man, I should think about this. Okay, they got rid of a Leyline Binding. They're definitely going after the Harbinger. Okay, we'll... Okay, I'm going to sink this and just hope they don't have another white source. And if they do, I think it's going to be okay. Then they're just chewing up more things. Like, I don't need this sink that badly. Oh, they do have a force! Wow! Okay, goodbye. Something on the board. Oh, they could have Ephemerate too. No, they don't have Ephemerate. Okay, everything's unlocked. I deal 5. Now, here's the good news. This Felia is probably going to attack, blink one of my vials, and help me get Tameo in play. I have this sinking feeling our opponent has Flage, though. Just a sinking feeling, you know? Just a sinking feeling. They could attack and hit the Flood Pits Drowner. Okay, that's fine. You can blink that one. I don't know. Wasn't that important. I'll take 2 damage. I have the life to spare after that Solitude line. Well, they haven't missed any land drops, so it's possible that they're flooded. Little do they know, they're actually fixing my Ether Vial. Let's tick this up to... Maybe I should take this thing to 3 and this Vial to 1. Because if I draw a 2, I can just play it. No problem with my Dismember. But if I draw a 3, I can't. Still can't play this card. Very, very awkward card. Okay, let's attack. Attacking, I'm attacking. I'm attacking and it's working. So what do I do with this Sink into Stupor? Wait for a Harbinger of the Seas or something? This is a weird card to have in my hand. I guess I'm going to keep it for Force of Negation if I can draw it. Or again, if I draw a Harbinger of the Seas, that would help me. Still playing land drop, so maybe still land flooded. Fetch, maybe fetch to shock and die. Oh, I forgot, I have Island Walk here. Oh, Thundering Falls maybe to find a Flage here. Did not find Flage, so... Okay, so I'm assuming... This is a weird deck. What is this? This is like... It's basically 5-color control with Felia in the deck for some reason. Oh, you can blink. You can blink your own Solitude. I think that's the idea. So I think I'm gonna keep Dismember just for Felia because that is a super annoying card. Or maybe not. Maybe I could like also attack with Stern Scolding. Maybe we're just gonna attack with counter spells. Okay, Vidalian Hexcatcher looks great. Flare of Denial looks great. Okay, we'll get rid of all the spot removal. I do think the spot removal would be fine against Felia, but we're not going to attack it on that angle because we can deal with it with Flood Pits Drowner if we really have to. Get rid of um. So the consign to memory is for specifically for Solitude, and maybe some other element. How many other elementals exist? I don't know. I don't know what else. Something. Okay, we'll get rid of more spot removal, like Unable to Scream. Have to get rid of 8 more cards? That's a lot of cards. Is Hexcatcher that mandatory? It's probably better than Flood Pits Drowner. They had Force of Negation, but they're certainly going to side that out. Harbinger of the Seas is a bomb. It doesn't look like they have a single basic in their deck. Subtlety is really important because it can interact with the elementals as well. Maybe Force of Negation is weaker than I think. Okay, we have to make cuts, so I'm going to cut Tameo, even though I sort of like it in this matchup. How many creatures? I have 27. Okay, maybe we'll cut 1 Consign and 2 Flood Pits Drowners. Call it a day. Maybe I should actually remove 1 Vial. Okay, we'll bring a Tameo back. I'm going to cut 1 Vial because of how vulnerable it can be to... Oh, Consign also deals with Leyline Binding. Didn't even think about that. It's so interesting. Wow, Consign is actually a Swiss Army knife. Maybe we'll get rid of 1 Flare of Denial. Okay, we'll go with this. Vial is vulnerable to, what's it called? The Thing. Okay, we're going to keep this hand. Hand's quite good. A lot of good counter magic in this hand. Tephalia, the dog. Dog blinking our Vial. No good! So it turns out actually having 2 Vials in that game worked out for us by a very large margin. Can't wait to Stern Scolding a Solitude. That is just, like, that's the greatest gas of all time. Well, hello there. Speaking of either Vial, that's actually going to make our hand infinitely better. If we do not, if this thing gets Leyline Binded, we're probably going to need a 3rd land pretty desperately so that we can play cards and interact with our opponent at the same time. Ah, the basic planes. I guess they had no opportunity to go get it or something. Because against a Merfolk deck, generally you want to be digging for your basic lands, if you can. Containment Priest? Well, I might as well counter something. It does interact with Vial. If a non-token creature would enter and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. So basically it's a 2-mana bear that shuts down Vial. So might as well counter it. Flage be paid? Yeah, you can play Flage off of this. Expressive Iteration. Wasn't expecting that, but okay. This is some sort of 5-color mishmash of all sorts of stuff. Prismatic Ending. Oh. How rude. Okay. It's gone. I lost it. What was the other card? Oh, they put 1 card in hand. 1 card on the bottom, and I guess Prismatic Ending was the card that was exiled to be revealed. So, opponent's tapped out. This is a great opportunity to play my only sorcery speed card. Might got eaten by Flage. If a Flage is played, I will just let my Master of the Pearl Trident die. That's okay. Didn't need it that badly. I'd much rather wait to get... Oh, now they're looking for the basic lands. Basic land's important now. What is this? Overlord of the Boil something. Whenever it enters or attacks, deals 4 damage to any target. What is this? The next Flage? Enters or attacks? This is literally the new Flage. And that's a lot of damage. What the hell? I don't know what to do here. And it already entered. Entered or attacks. If you cast the spell for its impending cost, it enters with 4 time counters. If it isn't a creature... but it's going to be in play, so when the last time counter is removed, I can't Flage it. At the beginning of your end step, remove a time counter from it. Well, this is ugly as hell. Maybe this is something worth dismembering. Okay, I think next game we have to bring the dismembers back. Because it's going to be super important to kill that thing. Super important to kill that thing. Super duper ooper duper mooper. Expressive iteration is going to resolve. So ideally they exile a creature. They try to play the creature. We subtlety it. No, just an island was revealed. I don't really have a choice. I think I have to play the subtlety just as a creature and start wailing on our opponent's life total the best that I can. I never saw this Overlord. 4 mana to deal 4 damage, and eventually you have effectively a Fury every turn. And also if you blink this, that's pretty dangerous. Got Sink. Okay, attack for 3. Just... I could play the Sink and have Stern Scolding and Subtlety up. Sure. Maybe it'll also make my opponent very nervous. What is this for 5 mana? Overlord of the Flood Pits! Enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, and then discard a card. No, I don't. I would prefer that you don't do anything at all. If you don't mind. Hexcatcher is feeling crappier and crappier. Okay, so I wonder if they're suspicious about this 1 blue that I had up. But I suppose not. Because they ran right into my Stern Scolding. Ooh, that's value. All the years I got destroyed by Solitude in so many different ways. We have another Stern Scolding. So we're going to attack for 6. We can actually attack for 7 next turn with our Hexcatcher. Whether it's actually going to happen, I don't know. So this thing can't attack yet, but it can attack next turn. Oh, actually, the last time counter will come off, so it'll at least be a creature to... It will at least be a creature that they can... What the hell is this? Oh, did the Overlord of the Flood Pits come back? Rat the Skies for 4. Well, that's just fine and dandy, because I do have a Hexcatcher for that. That's awkward. It's an awkward Rat the Skies, because all my creatures are really expensive. So we're going to sack our Hexcatcher this. This didn't really feel like a Merfolk game. This is just a bunch of random blue cards. Vintage, or modern cube, the deck. Just... good blue cards in Modern. How many Stern Scoldings do we play? We played 2 Stern Scoldings. All-Star. It's very nice. Maybe Stern Scolding... It's time for Stern Scolding. Maybe it's the era of Stern Scolding right now. I don't know. All these aggro decks, they're trying to play cheap creatures. Could be the case. Anyway, this is not, as far as I know, this is a brew. So we just ran into an experimental deck. This is the thing. Like, there's a lot of people experimenting right now, so a lot of people are getting like 5-0s when I think in a month Modern's gonna be a lot tougher. We don't know what the real metagame is. Anyway, that's round 4. Let's move on to round 5. We won the die roll for round 5. We were up against an Abosh deck. That doesn't sound like good news. That was always the source you control with an odd mana value would deal damage to a permanent player, deals double that damage to that permanent player instead. That was always like a prowess-like deck. Oops. Wasn't supposed to delete that. That's okay. But we won the die roll. I'm going to keep this hand. It's a hand. It has Flood Pit's Drowner if they're really on the prowess plan. Our opponent's named AlphaGo, which if they are as strong as the actual computer, we have no chance. Island and pass. That is not what I was expecting from an Abosh deck. Is this Orzhov or something? Anyway, that's going to resolve. And then we'll tap it down with our Flood Pit's Drowner. We might even exchange with it. Cavern of Souls. Okay, we'll play Cavern on Merfolk. So our best chance is our opponent plays, non-basic lands. And then we can Harbinger and hopefully just win from there. Do they want to attack with this Guide of Souls? No, of course not. Do you? Do you have removal? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going to play my Flood Pits and tap this thing. There's a world where we could let it attack and we try to block it. And frankly, blocking this trading with Guide of Souls would be great. You're going to end the turn. Ooh! Oh, don't crack fetch yet. Don't do it. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, we're gonna eat up a fetch land. Every so often, I think the thing is when Rhinos was a really popular deck, Tishana's Tidebinder was everywhere, and so no one you're supposed to like crack your fetches on your main phase. Don't let the don't let the Tishana's Tidebinder deck get to 3 lands. But since the Rhinos deck is like basically gone, people have completely forgotten about this. So I'm actually getting a lot of people with Tishana's Tidebinder. Well, this sucks. Just more basic lands. Sure. Okay, my Flood Pit's Drowner is dead. Sure. This thing's gone. Another Harbinger of the Seas. These normally would be great, but unfortunately our opponent found their basics. I guess this makes some sense. Okay, so what's not in their deck? They can't have a Johnny. They can't have... Source control an odd mana value. I guess they just can't have a Johnny. Interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. It's also interesting. No, I can't bounce this Static Prison. Okay, I'm just going to play this. We're going to pay 3 life, and we're just going to pass. And we're going to wait for them to play a creature. They can't have Felia. What else could they possibly have here? Oh, they can buff this thing up with all their energy. Forgot about that. Yeah, and they will. Okay, we're going to take 3. Totally fair. And then do nothing. I think I'm going to do nothing as well. They might have like a boatload of removal. I think I'm just going to be a little patient, even though I'm the one that's on under pressure. I'm not even going to play this Ether Vial. Let's wait to get our thing back, and then we'll unleash everything at once. What's really important is that creatures don't resolve. Ugh, this stupid thing got another energy. Like, I don't want to encourage a galvanic discharge or anything like that. They get a Bosch. They're still holding up galvanic discharge. Do I play something now? And it costs double red, so I can play Harbinger of the Seas next turn. Oh, they'll definitely be able to kill it, though. Boo! Okay, I'm just going to pass. Drawing Dismember was very, very good. Although my life total is dwindling. It is dwindling horribly. Okay, pass a turn. Everything I'm doing looks insane, but I really can't afford to, like, tap out and let my opponent play more creatures and get way more value off of their Guide of Souls. So I'm going to take 3 more. Hopefully they play land, play a Bosch, we Subtlety, Oslet Pride. That card. Okay, they can't play a Bosch this turn. Alright, I just need to get some value off of this card. This is fine. We'll just be here. Tamiyo. It's really important they have no more energy, so this thing's coming back. Let's start with attacking for 3. I might even fix their mana if they play blue in their deck. Could play Tamiyo, Vial, hold up Dismember. Could also go... Well, I could go Lord, Vial, hold up Dismember, and then play Tamiyo. I guess that's okay, too. My life total also might be a lot lower than I think it is. Like, for all I know, my opponent has, like, 3 lightning bolts in hand. Yeah, okay. They have 3 lightning. They have 3 lightning bolts in hand. Oh no! I'm about to help them. Sure, Oslet Pride can resolve. No! Okay, that was a mistake. I should have just dismembered this Guide of Souls because they can't, so that they can't get any energy. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna help them. If they have a Bolt, which they are very strongly representing, then I'm just gonna die. Do I live? Do I get to live today? Or are you going to bolt me on my turn? I think they're deciding bolt now or bolt later. Bolt to the face is pretty strong. Bolt now it is. Okay, we can see. This game was awkward because they got their basic lands out. If they didn't have basic lands, probably would have just easily thrashed them with a few Harbinger of the Seas. Okay, it is energy. What do we want? We want unable to scream. We do want to interact. We want to interact and be on the battlefield early as possible. So we're going to keep Tamiyo. We'll keep the creature interaction. We'll side out lords. Don't like Lords. Never did in this matchup. We'll keep Tashanda's Tidebinder. Force Negation is fine because there's usually a good... well, is it as good now? I don't know what this deck looks like at the moment. If it's red-white... okay, it's not a Splinter Twin variant because they're playing with a Bosch. Or can it? I can't remember what the restriction is on a Bosch. I assumed it was... all the cards in your deck have to be odd, but I'm not sure. Your starting deck contains only cards with odd converted mana costs and land cards. Okay, yeah, so they can't have Splinter Twin. Stern Scolding is fine. Actually, Stern Scolding might be great on the play. On the draw, I don't know if it's as good. Do I have to take out cards? Probably. Okay, probably have to take out one more. Flip Pitch Runner is fine. Subtlety is fine. But weaker on the play. Okay, we'll bring in another Stern Scolding. Stern Scolding it up. And this looks... I have 21 creatures. A little bit lower than I would like. Okay, let's buff up them creature count a little bit. Take out... I don't really want to take out a Vial. Oh yeah, the Force Negation. I don't know how good this card is anymore. What can we hit with Force Negation? Used to be able to hit the One Ring. You could hit Goblin Bombardment. No, but they can't have Goblin Bombardment anymore. Okay, we'll take out the we'll take out the Force Negation. Used to be able to hit a lot of stuff. Now you can't so much anymore. This hand is fine, we'll keep. They still have a Bosch as a companion, so they still have a deck full of odd number spells. Our hand's a smidge awkward because of this Mutavault. It's going to be hard to double spell by turn 3. They play Land Pass, so that makes it easier. I drew a Lord! What do we do with this Lord? I guess we're just going to run it out. Let's play Merfolk. They have Lightning Bolt. They have to have Lightning Bolt here. They have to have Lightning Bolt, right? Yeah, okay, I'm just going to pass. It has to be Lightning Bolt or Galvanic Discharge. Okay, so with this Arid Mesa... by the way, Arid Mesa, strongest land in this matchup because you can find either basic mountain or basic plains. Another strong land. Okay, they're cracking on their turn now. They don't want to make the same mistake they made last game. Still do nothing. We can't have Felia, right? Who's going to get choked first on mana? Well, hopefully not me. Can you have Flage? You can still have Flage. Okay, I'm going to continue to do nothing. If we're just doing this passies, turnsies, backsies thing. We have Tide Shaper, which is good. Or I should say it's okay. Opponent, unfortunately, is playing just as patiently as we are. But I'm about to miss my land drops. Oh, not anymore. Okay, this is going to be put on Elemental. Problem for us is their deck is probably very mana efficient. Oh, Fable! That's a reason to keep, that's a reason to keep, what's it called in the deck? Keep Force Negation. Okay, now... the move has been made. going to force our hand. I assume this is where they fetch with their Bloodstained Mire. Seems like a very good matchup for Chalice of the Void. Now what to do? Probably... I can't siphon anything here. I can't stop anything. I think this is just where we lose. This hand is not lining up very well with our opponent's hand. I wonder, did they set out all the 1-drops or something? Where's the 1-drops? I would love to play Unable to Scream on something. I don't really want to play it on this. So their mana can't be harmed. I can do nothing. But I'm behind on the board, so I have to do something. Options, Tide Shaper, this Plains, and then play Lord and pass. It's not really a good spot to be in. That's better than nothing. Okay. So the thing I don't like about the energy matchup is the Lords, which is why I usually side them out. The reason why I despise these cards the most is because they're not very interactive. They're pretty clunky. Like, it's basically sort of a grizzly bear. Like, the Lords are really good if the opponent cannot interact with you. So if they're like completely shut out of the game, they can't play spells, then sure, they're fine. They'll be a pretty decent clock. But our opponent has 6 cards up, 4 lands. These Lords do nothing, and every single one of our opponent's cards are basically like a 2-for-1. This is just like, this gets no value if you cannot deal damage with it. Just absolutely no value at all. I wonder if there's Solitude in this deck. That's possible. Wow, there's a lot of basic lands. Maybe I should side out Harbinger this season, this matchup. Four basic lands. Wow. Okay, we gotta flage this if we have any resemblance of a chance of winning this game. And we can deal a pretty decent chunk of damage next turn. We can play Lord, assuming we're allowed to deal damage next turn. Put on the bottom of their library, so they might have more flages up their sleeve. Maybe their hand is really clunky. Yeah, you can't use that. You gotta use this. They got Static Prison. What are you gonna take away? You're gonna take the Lord. Okay, so we can still deal 6 damage. Or will we deal 6 damage? Maybe we'll do more than that. No, we'll probably deal 6 damage. And then hold up the Flood Pit Drowner for the future. Or I can attack for 4. What's the damage looking like? I can attack for 4, put him to 12, play Flood Pit Drowner, then I can only attack for 9. Whereas if I play Lord, attack for 6, put our opponent down to 10. If I draw a Lord, I win. Okay, let's go for that line. Because I don't really want this game to keep going on for any reasonable amount of time. I can use Flood Pit's Drowner on this Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, opponent, do your worst. You have a lot of mana. I assume there's another Flage in their hand, just based on the fact that they bottomed the last one. They didn't have anything to do on the earlier turns. Yeah. Another Fable. Their hand was just clunky. Okay, in the end, their hand was just like a super clunker. Go, go, Tamio! And we will Flood Pits the Reflection. But I think we're just dead here. So knowing what I know now, probably I would keep just for Fable. I would probably keep Force of Negation in the deck. Probably keep Force Negation. It can still hit like Lightning Bolts and Galvanic Discharges on our opponent's turn. But most importantly, hitting Fable and Static Prison can be enough. Static Prison is so annoying. Basically 1 mana removal. Oh, we don't have the second second white source anymore. Opponent was going to play Flage. Oh, but they're going to get it. Okay, so they can't attack this turn with Flage, but they'll get a Flage. Flage is on the way. We'll block with Tamio. Tamio, this is actually this is actually one of the matches for Tamio, just to like do something on the earlier portions of the game. So you don't get run over. Flage gets played. What is this? Jolted Awake? Choose up to 1 target artifact or creature card in your graveyard. You get 2 energy equal to its then you may pay any amount of energy equal to the mana value. If you do, return that card to the graveyard from the graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, it's like Unearth for energy. Oh, that's interesting. They're most scared of my Tamio, as they should. They should be scared of my Tamio. Sort of looking for a reason to resign at this point. Well, I can Flood Pits the Flage, attack with this Flood Pits Drowner, and then get rid of it on the same turn. That is a line. This is attacking with this Flood Pits as a free roll. They should block with the Guide of Souls. I guess they didn't want to. And now shuffle away. Bye-bye, Flage. But maybe there's not there. Maybe there's another one coming. I don't know. Guide of Souls. By the way, I disagree with the Wizards of the Coast philosophy. They're like, we could have banned a 1-drop, but we don't want to ban that 1-drop because other decks could play those 1-drops. Like, that's the point. Like, I think you want... how do I put this? Cards are more fair when only one deck is allowed to play them. Cards become a problem. Cards always become a problem when everyone can play them. You know, cards like, for example, Eldrazi Temple used to be like a pretty good design card in that like only the Eldrazi's could play the Eldrazi Temple. No one else had access to that soul land. Because when powerful cards are generally played over many decks, that's when it becomes a hassle. So they got rid of Amped Raptor instead of Guide of Souls or Oscillate Pride, which continues to make this deck's curve amazing. Oh yeah, Ranger Captain. Okay, hopefully I can just draw a land next turn. I'm rooting for a reason to resign this game. I'm rooting for it. So I think our hand would have been great if they had. I don't know. They might have stalled on their one drops, but I doubt it. It looks like the way this game has played out, their hand was really clunky. Maybe they had a removal spell early on. I'm not sure, but it looks like their hand was just really really clunky, and I was holding back because it just looked like they had a ton of removal. And our hand with, I'm very happy about cards like what's it called, Unable to Scream, to be able to put on a Guide of Souls or a Ragavan. What's getting played now? Subtlety? Oh, you're playing. Oh, look at that. My subtlety works for you now. It's okay. We can. That sort of lets me play on, but it's not. Okay, I'm just gonna say good games and lose to energy once again. All right, so not too bad of a showing for this deck. Unfortunately, that could have been worse, to be honest. That could have been a lot worse. Because which deck are we playing here? Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. That could have been a lot worse, because if they were playing the Mardu version, then Flood Pit's Drowner would have been useless, and I would have had to have leaned more on our Lords, which I don't want to do. So knowing what I know now, I would have sided in Flare of Denial. I would have kept the Force of Negations. Maybe on the play, I would have sided out the Subtlety instead of keeping it in. But that's all in hindsight. I'm not familiar with the Abosh Soul Piercer, the Abosh version of Energy, but I'm hoping this deck will be a little bit better versus Energy otherwise. And our Harbinger was just one of the key cards of beating that matchup. Very, very bad shape, the way that game played out. It's still going to be hard no matter what. Energy is going to be our worst matchup, and we have to hope Splinter Twin, Affinity, all the Faithless Looting decks can hopefully blast Energy down a few notches. Because if Energy is going to take the top spot, we are going to struggle to have a very, very serious edge. We can still do fine, like we've been doing in the past, but we cannot have a great edge if Energy is going to be a top player in Modern. But I think this deck is playable. I am experimenting with Violus versions. If you want to know, you want to see some stuff that I'm cooking here. I really want to test out this card called Incubation and Incongruity. So forget the incongruity part. For a blue, you can play it at a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's Ancient Stirrings for creatures, which lets you more reliably find Harbinger of the Seas, Subtlety, Sveilun, Tishana's Tidebinder for the appropriate matchup. So this is a Violus version, and I'm thinking, I'm actually don't think this is going to be good enough, because I've already been testing a little bit, and then I like the idea of Gemstone Caverns, but in practice losing that card is just a little too much, even on the draw. You'd just be better off just playing, turn 1, play Unable to Scream and Dismember, and keep the cards. But I'm hoping, I don't know, the idea of turn 2 Harbinger of the Seas sounds amazing to me, in theory. In practice, I don't know. But anyway, that I really want to test this Incubation card and more Violus. But I have to admit, Aether Vial, it's still good. Okay, Aether Vial is still good, even when we're drawing multiples. In fact, drawing multiples in this league worked out. All right, you like Merfolk? Give the thumbs up. Give thumbs up to Stern Scolding as well. Looks like it's going to be a big player in the meta going forward. All right, everyone, my fish fam, take care, and I will see you next time.